Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey man, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Is tonight the start of the new era of late night? It's Good Night with Ben Gleib making its YouTube premiere. Now, I'm not sure this will have the same impact as, say, a 4-day-a-week 11:35 network show, but who knows? Good Night with Ben Gleib will become the first late-night type show launching on YouTube made exclusively for YouTube. We are told Gleib's weekly series is designed to evolve the traditional celebrity-focused late-night space, offering chats with the usual suspects while broadening in scope to include top thought leaders, creators, experts, entrepreneurs, wellness and financial experts, relationship coaches, AI futurists, and psychologists. Shows tape the night before, as in last night, and will debut on YouTube every Thursday at 10 Eastern. Not sure why they picked that time. There's a live studio audience, a wall of screens showing the first global virtual studio audience. Bill Carter said there will be a band, and each week will also feature a post-show after-party episode where Gleib dives deeper with his guests and additional curated invitees, often over drinks and candid conversation. All right. I come with an open mind. We'll check that one out. Pete Davidson and John Mulaney talked a little bit about how some people hosting Saturday Night Live aren't that good. During the Netflix is a Joke Festival, John Mulaney reflected on his time as a writer, and he said, when I was 25, I'd tell Oscar-winning hosts, I'd write their monologue and be like, you're going to say all that, it's going to go great. And then they'd tank 8 times out of 10. Pete Davidson laughed and said he, too, would tell hosts they crushed it even when they didn't. Mulaney said, they'll have actor face, they sort of don't get it because they're just an actor. And they'd be like, hey, was that good? And you're like, no, do you have ears? Pete said he'd often tell the host, you're really performing for the people at home. Mulaney added, play for the camera. The audience, they're just there to help you, but they're not going to laugh a lot. Pete, I don't always go their tours. They wait outside and they try to win a lottery. Half of them probably don't even speak English. They do. They're big fans of the show. They camp outside. Mulaney recalled an instance when a very big comedy star bombed, saying it was the comedy star's own fault because it was very difficult writing the monologue. But when the famous comedy star checked in with Mulaney said, it's bad acoustics. Mulaney then pointed out it's famously one of the best mic sound studios in the world. It used to be the home to the NBC Symphony Orchestra. Speaking of symphonies, Josh Johnson's Symphony was, I did this by accident. I didn't plan this at all. These two stories just happened to be this great back-to-back. Josh Johnson's Symphony, his first ever HBO comedy special. He wanted it to be timeless. He told Emmys.com. Now, interesting that Emmys.com interviewed Josh Johnson. Keep an eye on that when the Emmy nominations come around. Josh told Emmys.com, I really want people to be able to look back and enjoy this thing I've done with HBO for years and years and years. That's why I didn't make any topical references. I'm just talking about things that feel particularly universal, at least to me. I haven't gotten to it yet. As I've mentioned a couple times on the show, I was in London last week, and there are Knicks games. And then Forza Horizon 6 came out and a James Bond video game. So, I haven't really been in TV mode. In Symphony, Josh comes out and he takes a moment to look at the audience. The Emmys were curious. What are you doing? Josh said he's trying to form a connection with them. It's also taking a second to take stock of what's happening. Let's say you're fully locked in. You could just run out there, start doing your first joke, and be thinking about how it lands, thinking about laughs per minute and everything. Or you could take a quick second to stop and not just enjoy, but really respect the fact that these people are all here together for a reason. I think it takes the moment of noticing to really make yourself present and fully respect everyone who's there. Josh talked about his career. He's been doing stand-up since 2012, but says, I was pretty happy working at the grocery store and doing stand-up at night. In a sense, I couldn't imagine doing what I'm doing now. If you have a real love and curiosity for something, then you can't help but give it a shot. When I moved to Chicago, I landed and almost immediately tried to find an open mic. Pressure Billiards in Chicago. That was the first open mic that I did. I had 5 minutes and I didn't manage the time well. I told 2 jokes and a story and then kind of finished. I really wanted to respect the light because I was new. I didn't want to make enemies or anything. Emmys was curious about the sets Josh puts out on YouTube every Tuesday. How do you handle that? Josh Johnson said, I've always written a lot. While some things can be very funny and topical, they're just not going to be relevant forever. To me, it makes the most sense to share those things so that those who couldn't make it to the show get to enjoy it. It also helps build some community. There are people who tune into the live YouTube show every week, and we chat in the chat, and I'm very thankful for the people that made a ritual out of it. As for hosting The Daily Show, Josh has said in the past, he compares it to borrowing a friend's car. You want to return it without any damage. Josh spoke more about that and said, I think it's important to consistently feel that way. That's not a way that anyone has made you feel. It's a thing I do out of respect for what I get to do. I hope I don't lose that feeling, not even for a little bit, because it's what keeps me as intentional as possible. Muscle and Fitness caught up with Tom Segura around the time of the Two Bears 5K. Segura said what makes that event work is probably that two middle-aged fat guys not known for being fit decided to do this, and that inspired a lot of other people who had never done it to try it. I wish we had started it years earlier. Segura admits that he takes the physical side of the event much differently than his partner Bert. Bert's more of a winged guy. I can't do that, so I start getting my miles in months in advance. I kind of hate it, the running, but I slowly start to embrace it as it gets closer. I need to start up again. I've been really bad. It was also 4 degrees all winter. Segura said, I've made physical health a priority. It also makes me listen to my body in a way I never did before. I'm more into mobility and circuit training now more than ever. I don't think about big lifts like when I was younger. It's so mental. We're all capable of more, but you have to have the right mindset to prepare and go through with it. I wake up around 6:30 or 7 and go to the gym. Most mornings I run a mile and have a workout that's more circuit-based lately, so I get cardio and resistance in. I take days off as I feel I need them. I don't plan for them. I was the same way when I was running a lot. Yeah, sometimes you just need that one day off and then you feel a lot better. Eating clean isn't that hard, says Segura. Sleep can be a real challenge with travel and the kids, but you can't perform well in any physical activity if you don't prioritize sleep. Don't overthink it. Just get it done. It doesn't have to look good for it to count. Do all the little mundane stuff you think is a waste of time. It's the difference between making a full recovery and having lingering issues. On race day, I think we all want to beat each other, but we're also old enough to know we could hurt ourselves. And after the race, drinking Poroso straight up, then cold plunge. All right, Billboard put out the list of biggest comedy tours for April. Number 5, Bert Kreischer. 12 shows, 25,900 tickets, grossed $2.1 million. Not bad. Now, I don't know what this one is. It's the We Them Ones comedy tour. They did 3 shows and grossed $2.3 million. Apparently, this tour is Mike Epps, Carlos Miller, DC Youngfly, Chico Bean, Mojo Brooks, Tony Roberts, TK Kirkland, Just Nesh, Fab Monroe, J-Ski, and Nav Green. They'll be at the Wintrust Arena in Chicago on Saturday if you want to go. Let's see how much tickets for this thing are. Section 201, Row J, will run you $90.85. Number 3, Peter Kay did 5 shows and grossed $4 million. Matt Rife did 10 shows and grossed $9.1 million. And the King of the World, and we'll be talking about him a lot later this week because he's got a movie coming out. Nate Bargatze, 15 shows, grossed $11.2 million. Let me say that number again. He grossed $11.2 million. That's a gross. It's not net, but still $11.2 million. Wow. From The Guardian, the Department of Homeland Security has circulated a be on the lookout alert to law enforcement nationwide. All right, who are they looking for? They're looking for a comedian. The subject of the alert is Ben Palmer, the Nashville-based stand-up comedian and prankster who has created a parody anti-immigration tip website. I've shared some of his calls before. If you're not hip to this, his revealing videos of calls with members of the public who thought they were reporting immigrants to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, you know them as ICE, have garnered millions of views on TikTok and YouTube.
I made a website for reporting illegal immigrants, and sometimes people end up on the website thinking that it's real. And somebody wanted to report a man that they suspected to be an illegal immigrant that lives in their neighborhood. So I reached out to see if I could help.
There is one person who comes, and he's non-speaking. Non-English speaking. Mm-hmm. And he will come possibly, maybe you'll see him 2 weekends out of the month, and it's not even for a complete weekend. He'll come Saturday like a thief in the night at 10:30, 11:30 at night, and then leave Sunday, and he's gone.
Okay.
It's just very, very suspicious. While he is here, when he pulls into the driveway,
yeah,
and the lights always on.
They're using electricity in the home.
Yes.
And
yes.
And that is definitely suspicious.
Yes.
And they're also using the driveway.
Right, and the light is always lit in the garage. When he comes, the light stays on. We cannot see the basement section from our kitchen window. We can only see that there's a light lit, and that's the garage window that we can see the light lit.
Yeah.
So
just not being able to see what the resident is doing inside their own home, that's what raises the suspicions.
The bulletin was issued by the DHS Nashville field office in February, about a week before the Washington Post profiled Palmer, after a kindergarten teacher reported one of her students' parents to Palmer's supposed tip page.
And it looks like they have a child who was born in New York, which makes them an American citizen.
Yeah.
So we're looking to deport the parents and leave the child.
Right. Like I said, I don't know if they're here illegally. I just think it's odd, It's very odd.
What did you say was odd?
It's just odd for them to even be here. Like, I'm a teacher at a school. Okay, I know schools. I know the whole law about schools. I mean, they seem like nice people or whatever, but I looked them up in our files, and I was like, oh, she was born in Honduras, and he's born in El Salvador. So right there, it's like, okay, maybe I'm on the right path. You know, they drop off their kid every day.
So their kid is their kid a student at your school?
Yes.
One of your
kindergarten.
Okay, so now you want to get his parents deported?
Well, I'm just saying that if they're taking up resources from our county,
okay.
I'm not into illegal people being here.
Then the Be on the Lookout was shared by the Illinois State Police to a distribution list of state and local law enforcement agencies. The alert on Palmer was obtained by the nonprofit Injustice Watch. It's not immediately clear how many other law enforcement departments around the U.S. may have shared the federal alert to be on the lookout for Ben Palmer. At the bottom of the Be on the Lookout alert, the DHS acknowledges that the comedian does not pose a danger. At this time, there appears to be no direct threat to life or infrastructure. A DHS spokesperson said, "There is no investigation into this individual. This document is an internal memo shared for awareness purposes only," adding that law enforcement and civilians should be aware of potential websites and individuals impersonating federal law enforcement. Palmer said he found out about this from Injustice Watch. He called it a badge of honor. "To be honest, for me, it's the best of both worlds. I don't get arrested, but I still get to say that the Department of Homeland Security created a document about me, which is, in my line of work, I always look at these things more like certificates, badges of honor. The government wastes a lot of time and tax dollars for sure, but when you have your own little section on that, I kind of feel honored." HBO Max has confirmed the premiere date of a new 6-episode Australian-led comedy series called Make That Movie. I love the two people in this. They are Sam Campbell and Aaron Chen. I recently played some clips from Aaron on this program, and Sam Campbell you may know from LOLUK. Created by Sam Campbell, Make That Movie follows a chaotic, high-concept premise. A self-assured filmmaker travels across the country searching for everyday people with ideas for feature films before attempting to bring those ideas to life in just 3 days. Sam Campbell stars as the fast-talking director. Aaron Chen plays Sebastian, an intimacy coordinator. They're all fab. I think that'll be good. Aparna Nancherla talked to Joy Sauce. They were curious if she needs the audience's approval. Aparna said, "Even if it feels like a one-way conversation, it ends up being a dialogue. Some audiences may be more or less receptive. Whatever you're bringing to them is fully in your control, and you can adjust your material based on what lands or what feedback you get. The best part of stand-up comedy is you don't have to fit someone's version of how you need to show up. You can show as much or as little of yourself as you'd like. Personally, I approach comedy from the inside-out perspective versus outside-in." Her recent hour on Dropout called Hopeful Potato was informed by the break I took from stand-up and the time spent writing my book, as well as the pandemic. Now I'm in my 40s, and it's a time when women start experiencing mental, emotional, and physical shifts. It's a reckoning with yourself and a second adolescence. If you're at a place where half your life is done and you're lucky, half lies ahead. But what do you want to do with that time? I ask myself that question every day. Sometimes I take a 4-hour train ride to Scotland. Cultured caught up with BJ Novak. You know him as Ryan from The Office. They did some rapid fire. BJ, what's something people get wrong about you? He said, "I have no idea what they think about me, and whatever it is, they might well be right. If anyone's wrong about me, it's probably me. I'm too close to it." "When's the last time you laughed hysterically, BJ Novak?" He said, "The fact I can't remember tells me I need to change my life, and for that, I genuinely thank you, Cultured Magazine questionnaire." "What keeps you up at night, BJ?" "The coffee I drank at 3 p.m. "And who do you call the most?" He said, "Call my parents every Friday. Everyone else I text." And that is your comedy news for today. Follow the show on Spotify and click on that notifications badge so you don't ever miss an episode. And on Spotify, you can comment if you have any thoughts about what you heard on today's program. And I will meet you here back tomorrow.